So it's also one of the factors to change the flavor as well. The very high quality electrical grinder and a single dose grinder with a A6 burr, very high clarity, and usually I test this at my home with super good flavors in each category. And I'm also the competitor in Brewers Cup, and I compete in the Netherlands. About to start to use my competition coffee. Yes, Geisha Volcán Azul from Costa Rica. So anaerobic natural processed. So with some grapefruit, a little bit sparkling acidity. But in my competition, I blend with 2 geisha. So, but I can only manage to bring 1, and I'm still like getting the dose and the grinding size. Yeah, because also they have a new product. I use this for my competition process, but later I use this, so I'm still testing at the moment. So first, my recipe start with 15 grams of coffee beans and 250 cc of water. So the ratio is 1 to 16.6. So I use this grinder because in my competition I use A4Z from Espresso, and Femobook is really good brand, and then they collaborate with Espresso to have the same burr. So why I use A4Z? Because it's high clarity, very clear in each category. And I'm very happy Femobook designed this grinder because everything is automatically, you don't need to use your hands, especially in the morning. It saves like a lot of energy. So it's done. Slow RPM, so it didn't really create more heat on the grind size. So it's very good to keep the flavors. So I'm using a coffee from Costa Rica, Volcán Azul farm. It's an anaerobic natural processed. So my opinion is a lot of grapefruit. In my competition, I blend with another geisha. The other geisha is Panama geisha washed, have a base with honey, nectar, jammy mouthfeel on the base, and I add this on the top, so create more acidity. So I love this grinder because the grind size is also very even. At the same time, less fines, because in the preparation of the competition, sometimes if fine stuck on the bottom, it creates a huge mess. So my recipe is 92 degrees Celsius, and I'm using a dripper called Oval Flower Dripper. It's a brand new product in this year. So it's actually so traditional tropical style, but at the same time some modern aesthetics. It's a flower oval dripper. So I compare with V60, Dip 27 like this, and other type of dripper. But I found that this dripper can create more complexity. And my recipe is divided into separate pools, but each time I mix well to enhance the extraction, also to keep the coffee fully saturated. 92 degrees Celsius, 15 grams. I like this grinder because it's less fine, and also if you put in like 15 grams, usually it's 15 grams. So there is not a lot of fine stuck inside the burr. So 92 degrees Celsius. So the first pour, 60 grams of water. And the trick is I pour in an oval shape as well, not circular motion. So reach 60. And I don't like keep the heat and a consistent, because at last the pouring durations, if it's late duration, usually it's astringency. So the second pour is 50. And the next separate 3 pours, I will divide it evenly into 3, 70, 70, 70 to reach 250. And as I mentioned, I swelled also to make the coffee grounds fully saturated. So the next is 180, and then as well. You see on the side, there are also some fines. So each swell, not only it can enhance extraction, but also keep the fines attached to the side, so less fines underneath. And you see it's very fast. And thanks to the grinders. So I'm using a Costa Rica Volcán Azul. Anaerobic natural process, a little bit funky, but not really funky. So you will taste some grapefruit and a little bit like white wine as well. So for filter coffee, I like it very much because it takes longer for the extraction process, which means extract more. But at the same time, it's lighter because of the dose and ratio. My recipe was the same compared to the previous brew, but the grinding size I tried to replicate to have a little bit the same, but it's very difficult to make the same grind size. But in my competition preparation, I use A68 a lot for cupping and choosing like beans as well. And for this one, I would suggest to go a little bit coarser because for this one and that one, this is a little bit more fines. And my recipe try to fight against with this issue. But of course, this is already very like less fines. A68 is really reliable, in my opinion. But my recipe usually, I want to have achieve high clarity. So I will go even further than the suggested grinding size. And I will do swell every time to make sure the fines attach on the sides. Also, make sure the coffee is fully saturated with water. So my recipe starts with 40 cc as a bloom, swell, and then the next 3 pours divided the same evenly, 70 cc, 70 cc, and 70 cc. So my recipe is 15 grams of coffee beans, coarse grind, to 250 cc of water. So the brewing duration is about 220 to 230. So first of all, I pick origami server because there's a vortex underneath. So I swell 4 times and then serve. So I'm using Costa Rica Volcán Azul anaerobic natural processed with some grapefruit and in my opinion, a little bit more to wine category. For A4Z, the brewing duration will be faster because this is really clean. But make sure you achieve enough brewing duration. Otherwise, it will be unexpected. It will be too fast. For this one, I think every time it's very consistent. Yeah. But make sure you don't really grind too fines. Otherwise, the cup will be a little bit dry. I would say this is more sparkling acidity. And this is more, a little bit more dense, but the mouthfeel is quite smooth and full. Maybe I will go a little bit further, a little bit finer, to check one more time, last time. Yeah. But I think this grinder is already very good to showcase some nice floral and acidity. But this one more like full body, wine-like body, a little bit more mellow as well. Even smooth when it's cools down. And the RPM is a little bit faster than that one. So it's also one of the factors to change the flavor as well. I think compared to commercial grinders, you need to clean more. But this, I clean it half a year. Yeah. Because there's less fines inside. The maintenance will be much easier than normal. But for example, here I will clean it. Here also. Yeah. But inside, I think not really necessary to clean it like every week or every day. But if you really want to like showcase a really excellent, very expensive beans, maybe you can do it. But for my normal practice, I won't do it frequently because it's already very good grinders. Yeah. And it's also very easy to disassemble everything. So it's very caring. All the settings here. It's very easy to open it, to see the structure of the grinders. I think that's also one of the reasons they built this A68. It's very like customer oriented. But I think the quality is already good. I don't need to clean it every day or every week. I think the same as like other hand grinder. My thought is why single dose grinder happens is because some people get tired grinding hand grinder. And this idea is super good. And I think will be the trend around the world. Make like hand grinder be motorized. Like the grinder